They fight fires, respond to medical emergencies, and save lives, but they haven't been paid this month. They're federal workers at local military base fire departments, now furloughed because of the government shutdown.
Now, they still have to work, but they are not getting any paychecks. Courtney Friedman saw firsthand today how a local veterans organization is stepping in to help them.
We can go get them Friday and we can either hand them out.
These men put their lives on the line even when they're not getting paid.
Well, even though people are shut down and going home, we still have to show up every day. We don't get to make business decisions. We have to actually show up and still fight fire, respond to any medical emergencies and stuff like that.
Jesse Rico is a firefighter at Lackland Air Force Base and the president of the Firefighters Association for Lackland, Randolph, and Fort Sam Houston. All these people in the category of furloughed federal workers.
How long has it been since you've gotten a paycheck?
We're probably going on about a month. We actually work a 48 on schedule and 48 off, so it's a 144-hour work week.
Do you have a family at home?
Yes, I do.
You have kids?
Yes, I have several kids too.
Lackland Fire Inspector Derek Ramsey has a family of 5.
So me not be able to be there for them that financially the way I'm supposed to, it kind of hurts.
$100 each week out.
He joined his brothers in the Federal Fire Service today at the San Antonio Coalition for Veterans and Families, which gave out $100 HEB gift cards. The nonprofit addresses emergency needs of military members and veterans.
Because we saw in the community there was a lot of need that there.
From KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Well, it's been a while, but we're finally going to have to bust out the jackets for San Antonio later on this week. And check it out. This was now a confirmed tornado damage in northern Comal County. I've got the latest on that now confirmed tornado and its path coming up.
But there's always wrecks here.
They ran through our fence like 5 times, 6 times.
A car crashes into a home while a family was inside. Up next, we hear from the man who was in his bedroom when the car drove through.
All right, it is Monday. Good morning to everyone out there. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend across the city of San Antonio.
Yes, thanks so much for waking up with us. RJ is back in the building.
I'm back. I did miss you guys, so I had to come back.
We got to get over to meteorologist Sarah Spivey, though, because you came back when something cool is coming our way.
Yeah.
That's right, but we do have to
wait for it.
Me neither, guys, but we do have to get through a couple more warm days. So today and tomorrow will be warm before that front arrives tomorrow in the afternoon hours. So let me get you through your Monday. It's 63 right now in the Alamo City. It's 66 in Converse, 64 in New Braunfels, in the 50s up in Kerrville and in Comfort. And there will be some areas of patchy fog early this morning, so just use some caution on the roads. As we take a look, though, at the forecast for the day, I expect us to have mostly sunny skies by the midday hours after that patchy fog this morning. It'll be in the 80s, and then we'll be looking at a high temperature of 87 degrees. So again, today and tomorrow, we are going to have morning fog. It'll be warm and it'll be muggy. Tomorrow night, though, that cold front arrives and it will be windy. We're talking wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour. So all those lightweight Halloween decorations, you might want to consider really securing them before that front arrives tomorrow in the afternoon and evening hours. And then we got that fall feeling, chilly mornings and pleasant afternoons. How cold will we be? I'll have those details coming up.
All right, thank you very much for that, Sarah. Top story this half hour. The government shutdown is now in its 5th week, and millions of Americans could soon feel that impact. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says that SNAP benefits, the federal food aid program, will not be distributed on November 1st. That means about 42 million people could miss out on critical assistance. The Trump administration says that it will not use contingency funds, arguing that they're not legally available for regular benefits, and states will not be reimbursing also if they try to cover the cost themselves. So according to a statement posted on the USDA website, it says that Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the food SNAP program, going on to say, quote, bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st, end quote. And in response to all this, the San Antonio Food Bank is preparing also to do a couple different things and everything they can to help everyone out there. To help the community, they anticipate that they'll need a 50% more food increase compared to a normal week, which is equal to needing an extra 13 tractor trailer loads of food. In a statement released by their president and CEO, he says that in part, quotes, San Antonio knows how to step up in times of disaster. The government is shut down, but we are open for business. We will do whatever is required of us, even emptying the warehouse if that is what is needed, end quote.
All right, check this out right now. We got a car crashing into a home while a family was inside over the weekend. This happened on the Dartmoor Drive and Southwest Loop 410. The homeowner, Juan Rodriguez, said that he was in the bedroom when the car drove through the bedroom. Exterior wall, Juan says that the wall fell on his ankle. He went to the hospital later that day, but is expected to be okay. However, he says that this isn't a problem. People have been crashing into his property and his neighbor's property for years.
But there's always wrecks here because people are coming off the freeway at 67 and they don't pay attention.
They ran through our fence like 5 times, 6 times. In fact, we got another repair we have to get done right now. Just at the end of our fence.
Now, Rodriguez told us that the person who crashed into his home told him he fell asleep at the wheel after working a night shift.
Well, this morning, San Antonio police are investigating the death of a 27-year-old H-E-B employee at one of the company's warehouses. Police say that the woman was operating a forklift when she stopped and then started to show signs of distress. A coworker called for help and that woman was rushed to the hospital where unfortunately she later died. H-E-B sent us a statement that reads in part, one of our warehouse partners was transported to the hospital after showing signs of distress. She later passed away at the hospital. Our H-E-B family is heartbroken and we are providing supports to and are in contact with the family during this difficult time, end quote.
Well, this morning, a man is in the hospital with several and severe injuries after being hit by someone driving a car. The incident happened around 8:20 this evening, or yesterday evening. According to San Antonio police, the man was jaywalking by a fire station near North Zarzamora Street and Culebra Road, and that's when witnesses say that he was hit by a red sedan that drove off after it hit him. Firefighters at the station treated the man before he was taken to the hospital.
And this morning, a 16-year-old in custody after shooting another 16-year-old. This all happening on Calle Estrella, that is near Frio City Road on the southwest side over the weekend. According to San Antonio police, the shooter did try to get away but was eventually found. Police tell us that the victim is a teenage girl. She was hit by a bullet in her right shoulder. She is recovering at the hospital this morning.
Happening today, jurors, the prosecution and the joint defense are expected back in court this morning for the third full week in a high-profile murder trial for a former 3 San Antonio police officers. And so far, jurors have heard what a former San Antonio police officer told investigators hours after he and 2 other former officers shot and killed Melissa Perez. Alfred Flores was the lead officer on scene the night Perez was shot and killed in her apartment in 2023. At the end of last week, Detective Deanna Platt was on the witness stand. She took down Flores' written statement the morning after the shooting, and in his statement, Detective Platt says that he never asked for additional resources like the SAPD mental health unit on the night of the shooting. If found guilty, all 3 officers face up to life in prison. And we're live streaming this trial, gavel to gavel. You can watch it starting at 9 a.m. on all of our streaming platforms. And this morning, more than 66,000 people in Bexar County have already taken part in early voting, and you still have time to do the same. Here are some of the important dates on your screen that you're seeing right there for early voting. It ends at the end of the month, October the 31st, and then Election Day is November the 4th. And right now, there is a lot of focus on the funding propositions for the Frost Bank Center and a new downtown arena, but the entire state will be voting on amendments to the Texas Constitution. And one of the most significant affects bail and denial of it in certain cases. It's a Proposition 3 on the ballot, and if passed, judges will be required to deny bail for people accused of certain felonies. The state would have to show the bail would not be enough to make sure that accused isn't a flight risk or danger to the public. Defendants would have the right to an attorney in bail hearings. Another issue is the Texas legislature has been trying to address is property tax relief, where Proposition 13 would increase the residents' homestead exemption from an ad valorem taxation by $40,000. What that means is that up to $140,000 in value cannot be taxed to pay for public schools. We have more details on all of the constitutional propositions right now at KSAT.com.
All right, let's get to you some of your morning headlines here. This morning, a powerful hurricane, you see some video right there, closing in on the Caribbean. Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 4 storm with winds of up to 140 miles per hour. It's expected to slam into Jamaica tonight or early tomorrow morning, then move towards southeastern Cuba. Officials in Jamaica have basically opened nearly 900 shelters and issued mandatory evacuations as the island braces for some expected catastrophic flooding and some potential landslides there. Okay, back here closer to home, Homeland Security is defending the actions of federal officers in Chicago after a weekend of several confrontations. A Halloween parade for kids was canceled when agents deployed what looked like tear gas. Officials say that it happened as they tried to arrest a construction worker who was in the country illegally. In another incident, video shows agents pushing a woman to the ground before speeding off. DHS says that the officers acted in self-defense as part of a crackdown that's led to nearly 3,000 arrests in Chicago since last month. Okay, across the state of Texas here, a heart-stopping rescue caught on camera. Check out some of this video that you're seeing behind me. This all happened in Fort Worth. Officers and drivers rushed to save a baby that was trapped under a overturned car after a crash. You just saw that child getting pulled out. Body cam video shows police lifting the vehicle as the child's mother screams for help. The baby was unresponsive at first, but officers managed to revive the infant, who eventually started to cry. Authorities say that the baby is expected to make a full recovery. Okay, crazy situation here. French authorities say that they've caught 2 suspects in a stunning Louvre heist. Yes, where crown jewels worth 88 million euros were stolen in just 8 minutes. One suspect was arrested at the airport there, the Charles de Gaulle airport, while trying to flee the country. The Louvre has since reopened, and visitors say that they're relieved that police are closing in on those stolen treasures. All right, crazy scene there out there in Paris, but hopefully they catch those suspects. Let's give you an update on the roads right now and tell you about this situation on the near northeast side of town. Again, we're looking at 510. Good morning to everyone out there. 35, a little bit backed up at the moment. 410, especially as you get over to Austin Highway. Ongoing construction for a lot of our folks there on the northeast side of town. And again, good morning to everyone out there. And a quick check right here, 35 at 37, still dealing with a little bit of overnight construction over the downtown area. Earlier, it looked like things are backing up towards Brooklyn. Let's check in with Alex and see how things are looking on the ground for us in Drive Cam. What's up, Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Yeah, and crews are cleaning up downtown right now. Just know that for right now, the 37 northbound to 35 south exit is closed. That's right there by the Pearl, but crews are in the area and they are picking up those barrels now, RJ.
Okay, thank you for that update. Alex Gomez in the downtown area. Sarah?
And how do mornings in the 40s sound? Yes, we're going to have chilly mornings soon. You're going to want the jacket. I'll have those details coming up.
We got a big deal brewing over TikTok. President Donald Trump and China's Xi Jinping could steal the sale this week. What that means for millions of U.S. users next.
5:14 on your Monday morning. How about our San Antonio Spurs? A lot of folks got to check out the Spurs take on the Nets in the home opener at the Frostbank Center. San Antonio doing great so far. They opened the season on the road, defeating the Mavs and Pelicans in New Orleans. And then check this out. We've got a brand new banner. They hung up a banner in honor of head coach Greg Popovich and his NBA record 1,390 career wins. And the best part of yesterday as well, the Spurs defeated the Nets 118-107. 6 Spurs finished in double figures. And of course, Wemby led the way with 31 points, 14 boards, a lot of blocks, and 3 steals. Tonight, the Spurs are getting ready to take on the Toronto Raptors back at the Frostbank Center at home. That game starts at 7 o'clock. And as our very own John Paul Barajas shows us, fans were pretty excited about the home opener and the rest of the season to come.
Castle is on the verge of becoming an all-star. So.
Go Spurs, go! Go Spurs, go! What? Go Spurs, go!
How do you feel about that beatdown we gave Dallas opening night?
Oh, it's pretty good. I mean, we did it against Cooper Flag, so
it's a big start. It's a very good start. I hope they will win also this week.
Well, they had a great first game, so I can't be more proud of the Spurs, especially this season. We're actually very excited because our son's on the Spurs hype team.
So did he learn his moves from his mom?
Of course.
I'm going to put you, can you do something?
No.
Put you to the test. He got his moves from somewhere. Expectations for today?
Big dub today, 3-0. Yeah, that's
Net stand, no chance.
Not a chance, not even close.
I hope they will win another game, another title, another NBA championship.
Spurs look like they're ready to come back. We're all the way from, me and my dad are all the way from Hawaii, so this is our first time going to San Antonio and actually watching a home game.
We are from France, from Paris. You came just to watch Victor Wembanyama. That's one of the main reasons, yes. Also to visit a little bit, but of course to see some NBA games.
Wemby, I love Wemby. Wemby's the go.
Wembanyama, I think, is the MVP of the season. So
already, you're calling it Wemby MVP?
I'm calling it right now, MVP.
Anything you say back to the fam in Hawaii?
Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my brother Chase. Go Spurs, go! Definitely love San Antonio here. So everybody in Hawaii, come check it out.
Go! That's what we're here for. Go Spurs, go! What? Go Spurs!
There you go.
Love
Go
it.
Spurs, go.
I'm
Hey, always a good
I was at the game yesterday, and they were chanting already MVP for Wemby. I think I'm going to need to figure out how to say that in French, though.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Most valuable
or GOAT.
player.
Yeah, most valuable player. Or the GOAT as well,
I'll
yes.
figure it out for you.
Well, are we at the GOAT on the roads right now?
Yes, things are looking pretty good on the roads. And yeah, thanks to everyone who came up and said that they watch us in the morning, KSAT 12, at that Spurs game. You know what? I got like actual vibes of when they were contending for championships yesterday. So a lot of fun at the Frostbank Center. And of course, the Spurs again taking on the Toronto Raptors later on tonight at home. So hopefully they get to 4-0. All right, the situation here on this is going to be 410. All of our traffic that's going eastbound towards Austin Highway. See a little bit of delay right now. This is going to be over by Parambital Road. Not too bad yet at the moment, but in a bit we'll see if we could get Alex out there to go kind of check things out on the ground. As Alex mentioned previously, though, this downtown closure still in effect right now. This is going to be at 3735, right there where we split things out and before we get to the San Antonio Pearl. But it looks like traffic, for the most part, it started to clear out. Earlier we saw that shot and had a couple of construction barrels still on the main lanes of 35 right there. So things are looking pretty good. Actually, let's check in with Alex right now and see how things are looking. He was in the downtown area, and he's got a little bit of clouds there in the background. Alex, what's going on?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Well, right now I am on the northeast side. I'm going to check out that area at 35 southbound near the exit to 410 west because there is a crash right now. I just passed it and there's multiple lanes closed. However, I don't know if the actual exit to 410 west is closed. So I'm going to go check out that area and I'll give you more details.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Alex. And Sarah, you pointed out that you can see some clouds there from his shots.
We've got some clouds early this morning, and RJ, we may even have some fog develop in places, so I want drivers to be careful this morning as you're going out and about. Again, patchy fog, some cloud cover out there at 63 degrees in San Antonio at the moment. As we head throughout the rest of the day, what we're going to be seeing is clearing skies. So by 10 noon, we should be looking at mostly sunny, if not completely sunny skies. Generally calm winds today and a high temperature right around 86 or 87 degrees. So it is going to be a warm day here in San Antonio, and it's going to be downright hot closer to the border. 93 in Del Rio, 93 in Eagle Pass, 97 in Laredo, but upper 80s around the Alamo City. Again, we're going to be one of the warmer spots on the map across the nation, but there is our change. There's our cool front. We are going to see a real deal cold front that is going to move through, but we have to wait until tomorrow in the later afternoon hours. So today is going to be warm and tomorrow is going to be warm as well. Again, looking at tomorrow's high temperatures, we're going to be close to 90 degrees in San Antonio. That front is not going to move through until after the peak heat of the day. But tomorrow's going to be one of those days where you look across Texas and temperatures are going to be drastically different because of that front. So I want to start with the first thing you'll notice when that front moves through after the heat tomorrow. You're going to notice the winds. Take a look at tomorrow's wind gusts. We're going to see wind gusts of up to 35 to 45 miles per hour tomorrow night. I've seen a lot of awesome Halloween decorations out there. A lot of those are lightweight though. So take today, take tomorrow to secure those lightweight Halloween decorations because it's going to get very windy tomorrow in the evening hours, and that wind is going to carry over into Wednesday as well. But what about temperatures? This is what I mean when I say a real deal cold front. So we're going to be hot today and tomorrow, but watch what happens on Wednesday. Wednesday morning, we wake up near 50 degrees. You're going to want a jacket early Wednesday morning. And then our high on Wednesday is only going to be in the 60s. By Thursday and Friday mornings, that's when we're really going to feel the chill. Morning lows will be in the 40s Thursday and Friday. The kids will want the jacket if they have to wait at the bus stop. Highs, though, will be comfortable in the 70s. And let's talk for a moment here about Halloween and give you a trick-or-treat preview. So again, we're going to be in the 70s during the afternoon hours, and then throughout the evening, temperatures are going to be falling into the 60s. Sunset is close to 7 o'clock. Very nice with low humidity and quickly cooling temperatures. So just putting everything together for you again, morning fog both today and tomorrow, and warm today and tomorrow. 87 today, 88 tomorrow. Then that front moves through in the late afternoon. We'll see gusts up to 40 miles per hour in the evening Tuesday night. It'll be windy on Wednesday, waking up near 50 degrees, highs in the 60s, 40s Thursday and Friday morning, and highs near 70 degrees. You know, one thing that we can do though is we can actually enjoy this cooler weather because it's dry. Usually we would be wanting rain with this, but the good news is we got some good rain on Friday. Many areas saw 1 to 3 inches of rain. And speaking of Friday, there was also a tornado in northern Comal County. I'm going to give you those details coming up in the next half hour.
All right. Thanks so much, Sarah. It is 5:22 right now, 64 degrees outside.
Well, move over, Silicon. Make way for that right there. Mushrooms. Up next, how fungi could power the next generation of living computers. GMSA. We'll be right back.
In today's Tech Bites, a deal to keep TikTok operating in the U.S. could be finalized this week. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says all the details have been ironed out. An announcement could come Thursday after President Trump and China's President Xi Jinping meet in South Korea. Next, users could be seeing ads in Apple Maps as soon as next year. Bloomberg reports Apple's plan is to allow brick-and-mortar businesses like restaurants to promote themselves in search results. That report also says Apple will use artificial intelligence to show relevant results. And finally, researchers at Ohio State have built a computer chip using mushrooms. They found that mushroom fibers can remember electrical signals, kind of like brain cells, using very little power. Amidst early research about the goals to make future chips that are cheap and eco-friendly. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Perry Russum. Have a great day.
All right, 5:26 right now, 64 degrees outside.
Okay, coming up, the government shutdown hits 5 weeks and 42 million Americans could miss crucial food aid. Here in San Antonio, we're going to tell you the food bank is ramping up like never before.
Plus, if you think you're ready to tackle your holiday shopping, you need to think again because prices are up. Tariffs are shaking things up, and timing could make a break for your budget. Coming up at 6:42, we've got the best ways to outsmart the season and stretch your dollars further. Welcome back. Coming up on 5:30. Happy Monday, guys out there watching GMSA.
All right. Yes. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Made it out to Muertos Fest. That was beautiful, of course, to honor all of our loved ones that have passed on. But it was pretty warm out there, Sarah.
Yeah, we had some really good rain Friday night into Saturday. So 1 to 3 inches of rain fell around San Antonio. Since then, though, the weather has been quiet, and we have got an eventful week to talk about. I want to get you through your Monday, though. As you're stepping outside, there are some clouds that have formed as we approach dawn here. And so you're seeing kind of a wide range of temperatures. We've got 60s around San Antonio, 50s in the hill country, and near 70 degrees south of San Antonio toward Pleasanton. Here's where the clouds are. They're building back in, and we may even have some patchy fog early this morning before sunrise. So as you're dropping the kids off at school, be prepared for some patchy fog in places. By the time you pick them up, though, it's going to be warm and sunny. 87 for the high temperature today in San Antonio. And then we are all talking about this cold front. Look at the snow associated with this front. We're not going to have any snow in San Antonio, but this is a great example of what we expect. And we expect this front to move through tomorrow afternoon, and this is going to be a noticeable cold front. Our highs are going to fall from the 80s into the 70s and even into the 60s on Wednesday, and our morning lows are going to fall from the 60s to the 40s. Finally, we're going to see humidity completely swept away. It's a little muggy out there right now. By about Wednesday, you're going to want the chapstick. Very dry air in place. I'm going to have the latest and time out Tuesday's cold front coming up in just a bit.
Good morning, San Antonio. The food bank behind me here is already gearing up for a pretty busy week, even busier than normal with the holiday schedule coming up, because the government shutdown now means that SNAP benefits will be affected, and they say they're going to do everything they can to help people out. The government shutdown is now in its 5th week, and millions of Americans could soon feel the impact. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has announced that SNAP benefits, the federal food aid program, will not be distributed on November 1st. That means about 42 million people could miss out on critical assistance. The Trump administration says it won't use contingency funds, arguing they're not legally available for regular benefits, and states won't be reimbursed if they try to cover the cost themselves. According to a statement posted on the USDA website, it says, quote, Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the food SNAP program. Going on to say, quote, bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st, end quote. In response to this, the San Antonio Food Bank is preparing to do everything they can to help the community. They anticipate they'll need 50% more food compared to a normal week, which is equal to needing an extra 13 tractor trailer loads of food. In a statement released by their president and CEO, he says in part, quote, San Antonio knows how to step up in times of disaster. The government is shut down, but we are open for business. We will do whatever is required of us, even emptying the warehouse if that's what's needed, end quote. Right now on KSAT.com, we've got a list of some of the resources available for you and your family here in San Antonio. If you're looking to get some extra food on the plate, coming up throughout the day, coming up here at KSAT, we're going to be speaking with the San Antonio Bank and some of the other nonprofits here in town to find out exactly what they're doing to make sure that no family goes hungry here in San Antonio. I'll send it back to y'all in studio. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, thank you very much, Devin. We'll continue to monitor all of that. The New Braunfels middle school and high school libraries will reopen later on today. This is a new development here. This all comes as the district says that it's trying to comply with the newly passed Senate bill to ban harmful, indecent, or profane content in books at school. A list of 81 books is now on their website this morning, and they will begin reviewing these books to see or to decide if they are Senate Bill 13 compliant or non-compliant, and will label them as such. The bill bans books that are indecent or profane from being allowed in public school classrooms and in libraries in Texas.
I'd like to bring up the Supreme Court case, Board of Education v. PICO, which ruled you cannot restrict the availability of books because you disagree with their ideas and our content. Although this is a temporary closure, it is still a form of censorship because it restricts my access to the books within the library.
I want to commend y'all for doing what's right. I want to commend y'all for having a backbone and standing up. The reason the state has to keep stepping in and banning cell phones in schools and banning library books is because regular school district boards are not doing it.
Okay, so parents in the New Braunfels ISD are still able to restrict their own child's access to books via their online portal for that district.
All right, looking ahead, San Antonio ISD taking the next step in the right-sizing plan after closing more than a dozen campuses. The district is now hosting a reimagined community meetings at schools that will soon welcome new tenants. Brewer Academy hosts today's meeting, followed by Gonzales Elementary tomorrow and Pickett Academy on Thursday. Each one starts at 5 p.m. with a presentation, a tour, and time for questions. And today in Kerrville, Texas Parks and Wildlife will hold a public meeting at Kerr Wildlife Management to discuss the July floods' impact on local fisheries. And they'll share management plans for the Guadalupe River and community fishing lakes and get public input. Topics include fisheries recovery, permit info for landowners, and controlling invasive species. And this meeting aims to help the community recover. Also in Kerrville, we got city officials planning to remove crosswalk art, and this after Governor Governor Greg Abbott's message earlier this month stating that markings, signs, and signals that are not supporting traffic or for safety should be removed, specifically with political ideologies. Now, Kerrville officials say that their painted crosswalks are murals of the Guadalupe River. Now, however, the assistant city manager says that a plan to remove them is now in the works, saying in part, quote, "We understand the directive and don't want to jeopardize any partnerships with the state and on account of our few crosswalks," end quote. Now, Governor Greg Abbott also called to remove political and social messages from roadways and streets, threatening that the cities who do not comply could have funding withheld. San Antonio city leaders are still evaluating our situation here. Cops Metro celebrating 50 years of community organizing. The group announced a decade-long strategy called Public Money for Public Good, with the goal investing money for neighborhood infrastructure and flood control. Over 2,000 people attended the event this past weekend, and sister groups to Cops Metro also showed up in support of its mission. Cops Metro leaders have held press conferences opposing the Prop B, which is the financing of a $2 billion Spurs stadium downtown. We got a full breakdown of that back and forth, and we have all that coverage that you need to know at KSAT.com.
Let's get you to some of your morning headlines here at 5:36. President Donald Trump is in Japan for his first meeting with that country's new prime minister. Trade is expected to be at the top of the agenda, with Japan trying to ease tensions over American car imports. Tokyo is even considering buying a fleet of Ford F-150 trucks for road inspections, a move that some say could jam Japan's narrow streets. President Donald Trump, though, says that he likes that idea. Okay, moving on to an update here in this story. A bipartisan group of lawmakers want to hear from the NBA about that recent gambling scandal, which has kind of rocked the league. The FBI is now looking into allegations of insider information used in an alleged mafia-related betting scheme on NBA games, and also rigged underground poker games as well. Members of Congress wrote to NBA Commissioner, you see him right there, Adam Silver, asking him to provide a briefing by the end of this month, October 31st. Last week, 34 people were indicted in connection with two separate federal gambling investigations announced by the Eastern District of New York. Okay, and that included, of course, the head coach for the Portland Trailblazers, Chauncey Billups. So we'll continue to follow that story there. A quick check of your traffic right now. Good morning to all of our folks making their way out right now at 5:37 in the morning here. Our biggest issue is going to be right here, 35 at 90, and this is going to be the northbound lanes of 35 over here south of downtown. So we see that we have the Hero truck out there, so hopefully they get that vehicle on the way here pretty soon. And again, 410, 35, also seeing construction there. We'll check in with Alex in a little bit just to get an update on that situation. Sir?
Yes, RJ, Friday we had a confirmed tornado in Comal County with all the rain we saw. So coming up, I'm going to show you the tornado path and the damage.
And up next, how your Amazon Prime account can save you some money at the gas pump. Coming your way.
And the northeast side is going to be back in action because that crash scene has cleared near 35 South and 410. So I'm going to get back on the roadways, but there's still much more to come on GMSA.
5:44 on your Monday morning. Let's take a look at some of your consumer headlines just in time for the upcoming holiday season. Your Amazon Prime account can save you some money at the gas pump. Amazon has announced that Prime members will now be able to get 25 cents off every gallon of gas at participating BP, Amoco, and AMPM stations. Okay, we need to check on those. The offer runs through December 26th, but is only good on Fridays, y'all. In order to redeem the perk, that you will need to get a free Earnify account and link it to your Amazon account. But don't worry if you miss out. Prime members will still be able to get their normal 10 cents off a gallon once this promotional period ends.
The cost of living is getting even more expensive for Americans, and according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics data, the newest annual rate of the inflation rose to 3%. That's the highest it's been since the start of the year. And for families, it means spending about $208 more per month than a year ago. The data shows that the gas prices were the biggest culprit behind the monthly increase. It's a devastating stat to talk about. When we're talking about 40,000 babies born with a congenital heart defect each year. And the Children's Heart Foundation hosted 33 walks across the country to support families affected by heart defects and fund research. And I happen to MC one of them. This is one that went down yesterday at Morgan's Wonderland. It was such a blessing seeing so many different families out there. The 1 mile walk serves to support both families and survivors, with all the money raised going towards innovative treatments and surgical advances. So yes, no, it was a lot of troubling statistics that we were able to highlight, but also even more passion for people to raise funds for this, hard cutting edge research that they go in to make sure CHDs do not take the futures of our children. So it was really fun being out there at Morgan's though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and of course, Gordon Hartman, they continue to do some great things out there at Morgan's Wonderland. I think that place is just getting bigger and bigger, which is helping out so many different families, not only here in our area, but across the state of Texas as well.
How are we looking on the roadways?
All right, let's give you an update right now with your traffic authority. And good morning to everyone out there. As we take a look here, it looks like we got our TxDOT Hero truck. This is going to be 35 north right there at Nogalitos. So basically 35 Nogalitos and also Highway 90 for all of our drivers that are coming in right now. 35 north, so not too bad. You see the traffic is moving along right there, but we do have that vehicle that looks like it may be stalled. Not sure if it was involved in some type of crash, but it looks like they also have some kind of sign blocking them right there. But at least our Hero truck is on the scene, so hopefully they get that taken care of here in the next couple of minutes before we get to our 6 o'clock hour. Quick check here, the northeast side of town, 35 Loop 410. Traffic is starting to move along here. Further out in the northeast side, no major issues for all of our drivers out by Live Oak and Pat Booker. So that is good news. Let's check in with Alex right now and see if things are looking in Drive Cam. He was out in the northeast side of town, making his way across San Antonio on this Monday. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. In the northeast side again, looking good. 35 south at 410, that crash is clear, but I'm going to go more eastbound and see how I-10 East and 1604 is looking, because I do see a slowdown over there, and I just want to check things out. But so far, everything looking pretty smooth, RJ.
Okay, good to hear that. And Sarah, yes, we got past a pretty big rain event.
Absolutely.
Over the weekend, we're getting some cooler temperatures, huh?
Yeah, cooler temperatures moving forward. Look at this video, though, that you see here on your screen. this is confirmed tornado damage in northern Comal County. The tornado touched down on Friday night around 11:30, starting in Kendall County. You can see that damage there, a flipped kayak, lots of downed trees, even roofs off of some of those houses there. Winds got up to about 110 miles per hour with this tornado, and it lasted for a while too. Usually if we see tornadoes here in south central Texas, they're fairly short-lived. So you see the damage there from that tornado. I want to show you on the map here where that tornado occurred. So here's San Antonio. Let's go up to northern Comal County. Here's Kendall County. Around 11:35, that tornado began south of Candelia, crossed over 281 into northern Comal County, just north of Canyon Lake here. At 306, there was some damage done there where 281 and 306 meet. And then by 11:58, so close to midnight, that tornado dissipated closer to the Canyon Lake High School area. So as I mentioned, this was rated EF1 by the National Weather Service meteorologists for maximum winds of 110 miles per hour. It was about 300 yards wide, the tornado itself, the damage was. So that's 3 football fields. And as far as the path goes, about 20 miles. So that's what I'm talking about. Very long 20-mile path of that tornado. Generally down trees, power poles, roofs, shingles, and a roof was ripped off in parts of northern Comal County. But again, the good news there is we have not been reporting any injuries or deaths from that tornado. I was here with Adam Caskey tracking that tornado live, and we were also tracking a lot of rain. As we take a look at the drought monitor, what I've done here is I've outlined the areas of most extreme and exceptional drought. And you can see that from Friday night, good rain fell over areas that are experiencing the worst category of drought. In some cases, 3 to 4 inches of rain in some places, including out near Del Rio. So that new drought monitor will come out on Thursday, and we will keep you posted. We should see some improvement. Then it's all about the cool front. That's what we're talking about this week. But we have to be patient. We have to wait until tomorrow afternoon and early evening for that front to move through. So tomorrow is going to be one of those days where it's still going to be warm in San Antonio. We'll still be near 90 degrees. That front doesn't move through until tomorrow afternoon and evening. And when it does so, make sure your Halloween decorations are secure, or else you might end up having to fish those from your neighbor's yard, because we're going to see wind gusts tomorrow afternoon and evening of up to 40 miles per hour. So the first thing you'll notice from that front are the gusty winds, and then you'll notice the temperature difference. Take a look at your screen. This is how cool it's going to be. So warm today, warm tomorrow, but then by Wednesday morning, we'll wake up near 50 degrees. And then in the afternoon on Wednesday, struggling to get out of the 60s. By Thursday morning, look at Thursday morning's lows. We're only going to be in the low to mid 40s. You want the jacket on Thursday morning. Highs will be in the 70s on Thursday and Friday, though. So pleasant weather on the way. We do have to get through today, though, and tomorrow will be warm. Right now, we're waking up in the 60s. There are some areas of clouds and even some patchy fog, especially in the hill country. So be aware of that as you're heading out the door. Then we're quickly going to see mostly sunny skies and a warm day with a high temperature in the upper 80s around San Antonio. Then as for Halloween, again, remember, it's going to be nice with a high in the 70s. And then as we approach sunset, pretty good for trick-or-treaters. Temperatures in the 60s, low humidity, quickly cooling. So putting it all together for you in the 7-day forecast, warm today with some morning fog out there, warm tomorrow with some morning fog. That front moves through on Tuesday afternoon and early evening. That's when we'll see very windy conditions, gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Highs only in the 60s on Wednesday, waking up chilly Thursday and Friday in the 40s with highs in the 70s. And then by the weekend, it's going to be pretty pleasant too, just not quite as chilly as those mornings will be on Thursday and Friday. So how about that, guys? We can actually enjoy some fall weather because we got some good rain on Friday. And again, confirmed tornado in northern Comal County. Thank goodness nobody was hurt.
Yeah. Okay, so starting to finally feel like fall, pretty much.
Finally.
Yes. Okay. Time now is 5:52, looking at 64 degrees outside.
We got a century of faith and history in downtown San Antonio. Up next, how one church marked 100 years of community, tradition, and timeless spirit.
5:55, Costco and Sam's Club shoppers, you're going to want to listen up to this. Over 2 million pounds of pork jerky are being recalled this morning. The Agricultural Department says that the Golden Island fire-grilled pork jerky may contain some metal pieces. The product was shipped to Costco and Sam's Clubs nationwide. People reported finding that metal, but no injuries have been reported, thankfully. The company urges customers to throw it out or return it for a full refund.
The First Baptist Church of San Antonio celebrated 100 years over the weekend.
Okay, so the sanctuary itself was built in 1925 and cost $267,000 at the time. Church officials told us that Billy Graham preached at the church back in 1946, and even President Harry Truman visited the church in 1948. The community celebrated its centennial with worship, music, and a 1920s Model T car show.
All right, I love that. Okay, it's 5:56 right now, 64 degrees outside.
With the government shutdown entering week 5, millions could be missing out on their SNAP benefits. Here in San Antonio, the food bank is gearing up for 50% more demand. That's enough to fill 13 tractor trailers. Up next at 6 o'clock, how the community is rising to the challenge when this help is needed the most.
Plus, the murder trial for former 3 San Antonio police officers start up again today. And we're going to catch you up on what you missed so far, what jurors are expected to hear and see today.